the unthinkable has happened. In a stunning, history-making political earthquake, Reform UK has obliterated Labour strongholds, tearing through their heartlands like a storm. And now, Keir Starmer has vanished from public view. Westminster is in chaos. Panic grips Parliament. Labour headquarters is under lockdown. Police presence has doubled outside key government buildings. Inside, aides whisper of betrayal, resignations, and even full-scale investigations. The revolution isn't coming, it's here. The political elite, once smug and untouchable, have been dragged out into the daylight. Their systems crumbling, their power fractured. This isn't just a shift in votes, it's a national reckoning. The people have taken back control, and the ruling class, they never saw it coming. The fall of Labour has not been a slow decline. It's been a brutal collapse, unprecedented in modern British history. Once safe seats in Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, even in inner-city London, have been ripped from Labour's grip as Reform UK surged past in shocking margins. Entire Labour bastions flipped overnight. Long-standing MPs, some with 2 or 3 decades in office, were swept aside as ordinary people. Builders, ex-soldiers, nurses took the stage. Starmer's silence since the results dropped has only fueled suspicions. He hasn't appeared publicly in 48 hours. His closest advisors are reportedly refusing comment. Protesters have gathered outside Labour HQ with signs reading, "Starmer sold us out and we want answers." Inside sources claim top shadow ministers are threatening mass resignations. Some are already gone. The scenes inside Westminster are worse than imagined. The Commons is in disarray, emergency sessions called, Conservative MPs openly brawling with each other over blame, and Reform UK MPs walking into Parliament like revolutionaries entering a fallen palace. This isn't just political change, it's systemic failure laid bare. The mainstream media is trying to control the narrative, calling it a moment of reflection or unfortunate electoral turbulence. But it's more than that, it's collapse. Public fury has exploded, chants of "resign now" echo outside Parliament, trending hashtags flooding every platform. Reports confirm over 72% of voters, even former Labour loyalists, now demand Starmer's resignation. And why wouldn't they? After years of broken promises, fake pledges, and backroom Brussels deals, the working class has had enough. Council taxes rising, pension ages pushed further, fuel bills untouched, NHS queues longer than ever. And while ordinary families went cold, hungry, and unheard, Labour MPs were quietly racking up undisclosed offshore accounts, enjoying lavish gifts and trips on the dime of donors and foreign advisors. The betrayal runs deep. A 124-page preliminary verdict from the High Court has already surfaced, citing grave ethical failure, deliberate undervaluation of assets, and collapse in ministerial integrity. This isn't fiction. This is happening. And as Labour crumbles, the Tories are nowhere to be found either. Once dominant, they now sit as a shattered fragment of what they once were. Rishi Sunak, barely holding on to his seat, gave a statement that felt more like a concession to irrelevance than leadership. Conservative MPs are now whispering of a vote of no confidence in themselves. One even admitted anonymously, "We've lost the people. Reform didn't just win. They ignited something we can't put back in the bottle." Meanwhile, Reform UK's rise is more than numbers. It's movement. It's momentum. It's the sound of voices that were silenced for too long, finally rising up. They said it couldn't happen, that Farage was a sideshow, that Reform was just a protest party. But now the protest is in power, and the institutions that failed Britain are under review. Civil service shake-ups, NHS reform, full migration reset, legal review of treaties signed under Starmer. This is a total national reset. And the ones who profited from the old ways are terrified. The monarchy itself has felt the tremors. Buckingham Palace sources confirm that King Charles is receiving hourly briefings, concerned about escalating protests, threats to constitutional stability, and what's being described by senior aides as a national political reckoning. The idea that the monarchy might have to intervene, once unthinkable, is now under serious review by constitutional advisors. Parliament is no longer stable, it's volatile. Reform UK holds a working majority built not on elite backing, but on pure public rage. This is the end of Conservative Britain, not just Tory Britain. The entire establishment, left and right, has collapsed under the weight of its own lies. The myth of moderation is dead. The age of managed decline is over. Britain isn't asking for better leadership. It's demanding justice. As Reform UK prepares to dismantle the old system piece by piece, the truth behind Labour collapse is beginning to leak. And it's darker than anyone expected. Multiple senior insiders have come forward anonymously, confirming what many suspected for years. This wasn't just incompetence, this was betrayal on a national scale. The numbers are now public. A £124,000 discrepancy in declared financials. Undisclosed luxury gifts, offshore accounts traced to Gibraltar and the Caribbean, and private flights funded by foreign advisory partners linked to lobbying firms in Brussels and Berlin. A senior civil servant, now under protective detail, has handed documents to the High Court, including personal email chains, falsified budget sheets, and what one judge described as evidence of deliberate deception at the ministerial level. The court's language is chilling. It speaks of a collapse in public accountability, financial misconduct, and systematic erosion of parliamentary integrity. These aren't just bad optics, these are criminal implications. And now, for the first time in modern British political history, the possibility of prison time for sitting and former ministers is being openly discussed. The name on everyone's lips, Hellmarsh. Britain's most secure political detainment facility, once a whispered legend, is now real. And preparing. Leaks from MY5 confirm that the site has been reactivated for emergency use, with special holding protocols designed for high-risk national security breaches involving elected officials. Some of those on the list are still in Parliament, others are in hiding. The silence from Keir Starmer is now deafening. What began as media speculation has evolved into genuine panic. There have been no live statements, no video messages, not even a press release from the man who led Labour into the worst collapse in its history. Anonymous Labour staffers have confirmed that Starmer left his count in silence and has not returned to HQ. One described the scene inside. It's like a bomb went off, phones ringing, doors slamming, people crying, everyone's asking, where is Keir? And while the leadership is missing, the public isn't waiting anymore. Crowds have surged in every major city, Birmingham, Leeds, Glasgow, Cardiff, demanding arrests, not apologies. Enough is enough has turned into lock them up. Reform UK may have won at the ballot box, but the streets have decided something else. This is now about justice. Social media is exploding with outrage. Trending hashtags, #, drag them out, #, Starmer gone, #, Parliament on trial. News clips from just days ago are being reposted. Starmer claiming Labour would restore trust. Labour MPs laughing off Reform UK as fringe noise. They laughed, they mocked, now they're gone. And it's not just Labour under fire, the Conservatives are also unravelling. Documents linked to undisclosed lobbying from UAE-based contractors and £3.1 million in foreign donations unaccounted for have surfaced. Rishi Sunak, once projected as a technocratic fix for the Tories' mess, now faces internal revolt. MPs are calling for a vote of no confidence in their own leadership and in the party's future. A leaked internal memo reveals that top donors are already pulling funding, shifting money toward independent movements or outright stepping away from politics altogether. This is not reform, it's collapse. And at the heart of it all stands Nigel Farage, no longer the outsider, no longer the populist irritant. He's now Prime Minister with a 74-seat majority, a movement behind him, and a mandate to tear the system down to its foundations, and he's not holding back. In his first statement outside Number 10, he promised a full inquiry into every institution that failed the British people. That includes the civil service, the BBC, and even treaties signed by Labour, which quietly tied the UK back to Brussels behind closed doors. Farage has ordered the immediate release of classified documents relating to migration policy, EU negotiations, and COVID-era financial distributions. What's already been revealed points to one thing. They lied. They all lied. And the public knows it now. Buckingham Palace is still silent, but insiders report that King Charles has entered closed-door sessions with constitutional advisors, who are reviewing historical precedents not invoked in over 200 years. There is real fear that Parliament could become ungovernable, or worse, turn on itself. And yet, in all this chaos, something remarkable is happening. The people are no longer afraid. For the first time in decades, they see the institutions trembling, not the voters. Justice is being demanded, and it may just be delivered. The revolution is no longer theory. It's here. Reform UK isn't a fringe party anymore. It's the government, And it didn't get there by elite approval, media backing, or donor dollars. It got there by something far more dangerous to the old system: the will of the British people. From Yorkshire miners to Kent shopkeepers, from Scottish fishermen to Midlands manufacturers, millions of ordinary citizens who were laughed at, ignored, and talked down to just took back control. And now, as Reform MPs, many of them first-time candidates with no political background, walk through the halls of power, the reaction from the establishment is exactly what you'd expect: pure panic. They know what's coming. They know the system they built to protect themselves is about to be torn apart, and for the first time in decades, they can't stop it. Farage has already announced the formation of a National Accountability Commission, with sweeping powers to investigate government corruption, media collusion, and foreign influence. Multiple sitting and former ministers have been formally notified they are under direct criminal investigation. MI5's own leaked internal report refers to foreign-funded subversion campaigns inside Parliament and severe breaches of national security protocols by at least 2 former cabinet members. Arrests are now not just possible, they are imminent. Meanwhile, the courts are moving fast. Judges, once cautious of stepping on political ground, are now backed by the public and empowered by the scale of documented betrayal. A constitutional review is underway, one that could reshape the powers of Parliament, strip corrupted lords of peerage, and establish a legal precedent for emergency dismissal of elected officials. What was once unthinkable is now being drafted into law, but the story doesn't end in courtrooms. It's on the streets too. In every town, council buildings are now draped in Union Jacks, crowds still chanting, "No more lies, no more Brussels, no more BBC soundbites." Protesters who once begged for attention are now celebrating in front of a system they just defeated. These are the forgotten millions, finally heard. Not just by voting, by winning. And the monarchy? Still watching, still silent. But sources confirm that King Charles is facing the most significant constitutional dilemma in royal history. With Parliament in flux, opposition shattered, and national institutions under legal siege, the Crown is now under pressure to act as moral anchor. For now, the palace holds its position. But constitutional historians warn, we are one legal standoff away from a royal intervention. Foreign investors are rattled. Brussels is panicking. Leaked diplomatic cables reveal that EU leaders are preparing emergency contingencies should the UK fully withdraw from backdoor treaties signed under Starmer. One Brussels advisor was caught on a hot mic saying, "Britain is gone. We've lost them. They've gone rogue." And yet, amid all this turmoil, the people remain calm. Not because they're naive, but because they know what's coming. They demanded a reckoning. Now they see it arriving, piece by piece. The fear is no longer in the streets. It's in the boardrooms. It's in the parliamentary corridors. It's in the mansions of those who thought they were untouchable. This is what a reset looks like. And it's messy. It's loud. It's full of fire. But it's also just. The working class rebellion didn't just win seats. It lit the match that set the old order ablaze. They were mocked. They were ignored. Now they're in power. And as for Keir Starmer,